Hello everyone, welcome to this week's weekly market view for Monday the 5th of February to Friday the 9th of February 2024. My name is Vishal. Let's get started. We are going to start with the Nifty analysis, and let us start once again with the monthly chart. So after indecision candle last month, we have started the month slightly on a positive note with the demand zone still intact at 20,195 to 18,859 on the monthly chart. We are seeing a little bit of consolidation, but seems like the markets are more or less pushing and in a mood to give the all-time highs. And also on the weekly chart, we are seeing this level of demand holding, which is this rally-based rally 21,445 to 20,975. So looking at the higher time frames, it doesn't look like the markets are any or they are or they have any mood of any kind of a drop or a corrective move. We had this novice gap up into this area of supply, and now more or less this level has already pierced and nearly. If we look at the highs over here, the highs are 20,000, 22,126. So actually, we have crossed the highs, and now it's just a matter of time where the market gets another push and starts to move to the upside. Okay, so seems like now from here on, markets are a little bullish and are to continue and probably print new highs, at least based on the weekly charts and daily charts. If we go on to the intraday charts, we do have these new levels of demand, but these new levels of demand will more or less come into play once we see a little bit of a all-time high printed over here. So it's just give me a second here. Just making sure if the charts are correctly loaded. Yeah. So we want now this supply zone to more or less breach and markets to close above these highs. Other than that, markets tend to look a little bit more consolidation phase. So any close above this at any given point in time will indicate more. You have this gap level which is holding on, and right now this will not have any meaning to say so till and until the market prints a. So yes, we have a demand zone, and that demand zone is holding. And unless and until 22,128 breaks to the upside convincingly, that's the only time where the markets will start printing new values here. Okay, let's move on to the next index, which is Bank Nifty. And if we go on to the Bank Nifty, let us see what the Bank Nifty is telling us. Okay, let me just load the Bank Nifty chart here. Let's add the Nifty Bank here. And yeah, I'm just going to link the chart so that all the charts are going to get synced with each other, and then we can start with our analysis. So as compared to the Nifty, the Bank Nifty slightly looks a little weaker, but when I say weaker, it is probably just more or less in a retracement phase where just like how the Nifty has pulled back to the level of demand, or this is also trying to come towards this 44,642, 42,105. And if you look at the weekly chart, last week we not last week but rather last 2 weeks we are seeing this price coming closer to this weekly level of demand and then just consolidating here. So Bank Nifty is a little tricky right now because we do have this this overhead fall in price, and we have this weekly demand zone also playing out. So more or less again, Bank Nifty is expected to play out a little bit more sideways to bearish or sideways to bullish. So in case if it goes up, it might retest 47,444. And if it comes down, then it will go back to retest 44,406, at least on the higher time frame charts. On the daily chart, we see a nice bounce coming in from this level of demand, this rally base rally. And now we are nicely holding on to this level. And right now, markets are finding it a little difficult, but it seems like the market is going to take a little bit of support at this 45,600 odd level and then probably try and push up. So 45,600 on the Bank Nifty is going to be a little crucial. If market stays above that, then most likely we are going to start heading towards this gap. So let us see now what news brings in or pushes the markets towards these higher levels, which is 47,789 to 48,367 on the daily chart. All right, let's move on to the next index, which is the Nifty Financial Services. So let's load the Nifty Financial Services chart. Just wait for all the charts to load here. All right, so let's start with the analysis for Nifty Financial Services. Very similar to the Bank Nifty chart, we have this monthly level of demand, rally base rally. On the weekly chart, also we have a nice looking level of demand. Prices more or less are have visited that level once. Yeah, just a very faint touch, or not really a touch, but just missed hitting the level. But so there seems to be a lot of unfilled orders here. And then just like similar to the Bank Nifty, we also have this level in play. So again, if the weekly demand zone holds, then more or less the financial services is supposed to be going and moving towards 21,244 odd levels. And if the prices do come down, then 19,860 will get retested, and then we'll have to see. Now that the prices are somewhere in the middle, it's more or less likely that markets might push to the downside to come towards this area, or might push towards the upside. But right now, based on the Nifty, the sentiment looks positive. So somehow the feeling is that markets from this level are more or less likely to push more to the upside than to the downside. And on the daily chart, again, it's very, very evident that this level of daily demand is holding. We have some stiff resistances over here for which the market is unable to cross these areas. But once this 20,732 breaks to the upside, then more or less like the Bank Nifty, we are also going to see a strong move in the Finnifty, and specifically towards this gap fill over here, which is 21,335 to 21,523. So let us see this week whether we are able to get this big move, because there are several news triggers. We have the RBI credit policy also being announced. So we might tend to see a little bit of more volatility coming in as the news flow comes in. All right, let's move on to the next index, which is the Nifty Midcap Select. So we'll go on to the futures chart here. Let me see if I can plot the spot chart first. Yeah, okay. Spot chart is getting plotted today, so that's good. Okay, so if you look at the Nifty Midcap has had a very, very strong run. I mean, it is probably the strongest of all the indices. There is absolutely no pullback. There is just a very strong momentum to the upside. So what this one chart is telling me, that on every pullback, the only trade that can be initiated on this chart is a long trade, right? Now, what generally happens is that once the market starts to move to the upside, and if you look at this price action, here you can see from these pivots over here, these pivots are narrowing. And when these pivots actually start narrowing, that's not actually a good sign, because that shows that probably this market is eventually getting tired, right? So to go long at these levels is not going to be the right thing to do. And maybe depending on now some kind of a news trigger or something, we might expect to see a little bit of a correction in the mid cap Nifty. However, on the 125-minute chart, we do see this nice gap level over here. So any kind of a negative news from 10,802 might come into 10,648 odd levels, and probably this will be an opportunity to enter this up move and continue to the upside. Okay, so as long as all these levels are holding, it's absolutely fine to keep going long. But again, a word of caution, as on the daily chart, these pivots are becoming narrower and narrower, and that is one sign where this sector might get or is showing a little bit of tiredness right now. Okay, but keep a close watch on this daily level. If this daily level holds, then market will resume its trend and start moving to the upside on Nifty Midcap as well. All right, this is the daily chart. Sorry, this is the 125-minute chart. All right, now let's shift our focus from the indices and let's move on to the currency markets. Let's track USD INR here, and let us see how USD INR is shaping up for this week. So we'll wait for the charts to load. And okay, taking a little bit of time to load, so let's be a little patient. All right, so let's start off with the monthly chart. And on the monthly chart, for several months, we are just seeing this formation here. Um, it's been one of the most uh, boring charts to analyze, but that's what we are seeing here. On the weekly chart, we have this level of supply, and right now the prices are just consolidating within this weekly supply. The next weekly demand is sitting right here. So demand is far away. We are closer to supply. If we move on to the daily chart, this level seems to be a good level of supply, especially this entire gap area. It's already tested once. It is showing a little bit of more bearishness. So in case if uh, the USD INR starts to move again to the upside, we might see a little bit of a corrective move in the Nifty. But if the USD INR continues to move down, and let's say now it takes help of all this supply that is sitting here, then we are probably going to see another uptick in the indices, which might lead to the all-time high again. So just be a little cautious with respect to the USD INR, because the USD INR is going to probably dictate uh, the possibility of the next big move on the Nifty and the other indices. All right, let's look at the heavyweights now. Let us start off first with Reliance, and then we will analyze HDFC Bank. So let's start with Reliance first, and let us see. Today markets have closed 157 points positive. So let's analyze Reliance. So on the monthly chart, let's wait for the charts to load here. Yeah. So on the monthly chart, we have started a little bearish. So the month of February has started bearish, because now this could be a little bit of profit booking. And if you look at the weekly chart, we have printed new all-time highs, and now we are more or less progressing towards reaching this new rally base rally level of demand. 2753, 2645 can be a good level, and on the daily chart, more or less, it is also the same level. So, and let's look at HDFC Bank now. So depending on these two stocks, that is Reliance and HDFC Bank, if Reliance starts moving down, it is going to start affecting the price of the Nifty. And the situation that we are in right now with respect to HDFC as well, that's also a little bit of a concern, because both these stocks are heavyweights. And if they start correcting, then they are going to affect the movement of the Nifty, and that might prevent the Nifty from printing the new highs, right? Of course, there are other stocks as well, but right now we can see over here on the monthly chart that we had a strong fall in HDFC Bank after the results. And right now the markets are just holding on to this level of monthly demand. In fact, it's monthly, weekly, as well as daily demand, right? So because we are slightly low on the curve right now, shorting in these areas is not going to be ideal. Any shorts should be at higher levels. Right now, we want to plan longs and longs only on HDFC Bank, but we are not getting a very, very clear trend or a clear picture. So the only thing that can happen right now on HDFC Bank is once. So right now we are in this sideways consolidation, and right now we are respecting this supply level over here. So as long as this supply zone is holding, there is absolutely no reason to go long on HDFC Bank yet, although we are low on the curve. But once this supply zone breaks and any new demand zone that is created over here near to this supply zone which breaks or even below, then that will be an ideal entry point to get into HDFC Bank, taking into consideration we are low on the curve. And then the targets that we can possibly look at, first will be this drop based drop, and second will be this gap fill. So it still has a little bit of potential. And of course, if there is that news trigger which comes in this week, then it's most likely that HDFC Bank will also pull up. And if it pulls up, it is also going to take Bank Nifty up along with it. Okay, so keep a close watch on these stocks and these key levels for the week. I hope you all enjoyed the analysis. Thank you very much. And if you do like our channel, please hit the subscription button and become a member of the Sher Khan Education channel on YouTube. And do give your valuable comments from time to time if you are interested in looking at any particular sectors or stocks. Have a lovely week, everyone. Take care, trade safe. Bye bye.
This should not be treated as a recommendation. Please conduct your own analysis or consult a financial advisor before investing.